SBR Forum Videos, I'm Peter Loshak. This is the Upstone versus the World show that we do every week with Doug Upstone, where we talk to him about the two articles that he writes for SBR Forum, where he gives us 3 value picks in the NFL for the upcoming week, and he also gives us 3 games that he recommends we avoid completely. We just got finished discussing his value picks, which included a pick on the Jacksonville-Denver game. Now, I thought that was a lock for games to avoid this week, but Upstone liked the side in that one. Now we're going to hear which games he recommends we avoid completely. Doug, thanks for being back with us this week.
Hey, Peter, my pleasure to be back. And I got 3 NFL games to avoid. And if you don't want to avoid them, you're going to need some Tums to go along with this crew.
All right. Let's hear what you have to say. Game to avoid, number 1. Go.
Game number 1 is Carolina against Minnesota. Now, the Vikings front office feels so uncertain about their quarterback situation that they brought in Josh Freeman with Christian Ponder and Matt Castle already in play. Minnesota is 5th in scoring, yet they really do not trust any of the quarterbacks they have in their roster, and their defense is causing football handicappers to be very nervous in surrendering 30.7 points per game. Now, Carolina was a field goal favorite last week against Arizona, but they had 4 turnovers as Cam Newton showed again his wild card tendencies to play up and down. When it comes to making these NFL picks, it's best to look for more stable teams.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on the side, and that's how we felt when we previewed this game. We did decide that maybe the under 44 might have some value. That's something I'm going to look into, but definitely the side, yes, absolutely. That's complete agita, and definitely stay away. All right, game to avoid for NFL Week 6, number 2. Go.
Number 2 is Pittsburgh at the New York Jets. Now, nobody expected Pittsburgh to be 0-4 at this point, but with their minus 11 turnover margin and an aging defense that has yet to force a turnover, it's pretty problematic for Pittsburgh to be a play. Now, Sportsbook flipped the Steelers from a road favorite to an underdog because of what the Jets did on Monday night. Now, we know the Jets' defense is solid. They've proven it, but do you really count on Geno Smith on a week-to-week basis to deliver? I find it hard to make a compelling argument, Peter, for either of these AFC squads, and will pass.
Yeah, I hear you. This is definitely a game that could, cause some consternation inside one's gut by betting on it and then anticipating it. But I did preview with Brandon Shively. He made a pretty good case for supporting Pittsburgh. The Jets are on a short week. They might be on an emotional letdown spot here. Pittsburgh is off a bye, so there could be a case made for Pittsburgh. But I definitely agree with you. It's at least half of a complete pass game to avoid this week. All right, game to avoid number 3. Go.
Number 3 is New Orleans at New England. Now, the last time the Patriots were held to single digits was 2006 when they were shut out by Miami 21-0. The lack of continuity with Tom Brady and the rest of his skilled players is understandable to a certain degree, but a veteran offensive line being outplayed so badly last week is not. Now, the Patriots' best part of their team is their defense. And playing at home, I think they have the tools to at least slow the Saints Express and control them. Now, with the Pats at -3, I'll let somebody else make the call on this non-conference clash.
No, I hear you on this one for sure. The Pats, you never want to bet against them because, Brady and Belichick always seem to be able to work their magic. Then again, I wouldn't want to, bet against New Orleans with how great they are this year as well. So on the side, I can definitely see where you're coming from. I did preview this game with Tony George, though, and we both agreed that the under might be a great play here. 49.5, 50, that might be a wild overreaction to the offense that these two teams fielded in the past. So I'm thinking that the under might be a great play here. But I agree with you on the side, probably best to avoid. All right, thanks so much. Great calls once again, Doug Upstone, and we will talk to you again next week.